Kick is up, has the accuracy, and it is good. Jake Bates throwing right side, and it's going to be intercepted. Return past the 15, past the 20, out past the 30. Has space down the sideline. 40, 35, 30. And he is gone. A pick six for Houston. Snap good, hold good, kick up. And it is straight down the middle. Looking to throw, rolls out right. Throws end zone. Touchdown San Antonio. Cody Latimer alone in the end zone. They take a 1-point lead with 3 seconds left. 52-yarder, left hash for the win. Snap good, hold good, kick up. And it's drilled. Miami escapes week 1 with the win. Jason Sanders is looking to throw. Pass right side, wide open. Touchdown Drake London. Touchdown Drake London. Atlanta has tied this game and are an extra point away from taking the lead. Needing the 12-yard line. Handoff, Robinson left side. And going to be stuffed. A loss of 4, maybe 5 on the play. And with 50 seconds to go, the Chiefs have the ball. And most likely that does it. Ball on the 17.5-yard line. Looking to throw. Stepping up, throwing for the end zone. And caught. Touchdown Green Bay. Dontavian Wicks. 56 seconds to play. The Packers are within 3. 6:17 to play in overtime. Tua shotgun. Back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Bunched up. Tua to throw. Has time. Plenty of time. Pass. End zone left side. Jonnu Smith. Touchdown Miami. They're gonna win. Let's go, baby. Here, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Gonna send Smith in motion. Toss left side for Saquon Barkley. Good blocking and room to run. Past midfield. Spinning his way. Pass the 35 to 30. 25, 20. 15, 10. 5. And the Eagles respond instantly. Saquon Barkley. Oh my. Making his presence felt. 1 play. 60 yards. 3rd and 9 from the 35. Mahomes looking to throw. Quick pass left side. Caught by Piron. Has room to run. First down and more. Down to about the 17. And he stays in bounds. That will do it. The Kansas City Chiefs have escaped the Bills and have punched their ticket. Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome. UFL Week 2 wraps up with a home opener for the St. Louis Battlehawks at Dome in America Center. It's an XFL Conference Championship rematch as the Brahmas are in town. This should be a really good game. The Dome should be rocking. And we are here. Kickoff is moments away. They're wrapping up a NASCAR race currently on FS1 where the game is going to be broadcasted from. We're moments away from kickoff. But yeah, ending week 2 with this game is perfect. This is the perfect game to end week 2. We shall see. Yeah, week 2 UFL caps off with a great one. I don't really know what to expect out of this game. San Antonio's run defense did not play well last week against Arlington. St. Louis's ground game played fantastically, so I'm expecting Jacob Sailors to have himself a really good game as well. San Antonio's going to need some improvement from their offense. One of the changes from last week to this week is Jared Guarantano is listed as the QB2 for San Antonio. He was the emergency 3rd quarterback last week. Greedy Williams is not active for this game for San Antonio. Neither is John Lovett. So 2 big losses for this San Antonio team. And meanwhile, St. Louis is going to be without Hakeem Butler. A massive loss for that passing game, which didn't really shine great in week one. The ground game was really the big focus, so I'm not too worried. But it does mean we get to see Denzel Mims a bit more tonight, as well as Jacquard Pearson. But it's going to add a little bit of a wrinkle to this St. Louis passing game, which typically is a pretty good passing game. We shall see. Oh, I'm seeing footage from inside the dome right now. Hey. I mean, it still looks better than most weeks, but we'll see. We'll see when kickoff actually arrives. As again, we're still awaiting for kickoff here, as there's still have a little bit of time left to go in this NASCAR race. Yeah, we shall see. That's a tough loss for the Thunder. Jeez, that's a tough loss for the Thunder. I still think it'll be fine. I still think they'll be fine come playoff time, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. The Lakers could be a sneaky team in the playoffs when those roll around, as we're still waiting for FS1 to switch over to the UFL. Now they're saying kickoff is in 10 minutes at 6:43, as we will wait for this NASCAR race to end. Yeah, I mean, it very well could be the case. I don't think we'll see Thunder Lakers at all in the playoffs, but it'll be interesting. We'll see. Oh yeah, Luka is a stud. No one was doubting that, even with his injuries, and his kind of like slightly decrease in production. This is a rival in LA, but come playoff time, him and LeBron will get shit done if they're able to, if they get the chance to. Yeah, but the Western Conference is competitive as hell. It very well might be the case of whoever comes out of the West probably might win all. Who knows? The West is insane. Like the 10th seed out west, I'm pretty sure would be like the 4 or 5 seed out east. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll see. Really, I thought it was higher. Probably think of a different team then. Yeah, I just know that the West is like a lot more competitive. Yeah, they'll be the 8th seed. Um, all right, never mind. I gotta go to FS2 real quick since we have to deal with this. All right. So the first few minutes or so of St. Louis versus San Antonio, that'll begin on FS2 as we are moments away from kickoff. We have to do a commercial anyway. It's a mess. All right, but from St. Louis, Missouri, the Dome at America Center is rocking. Hell yeah. Again, we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's like my career road to the show. It's always fun to just drop crazy amounts of points and shit with that. Oh yeah, pretty solid stadium. We haven't gotten a good look at the crowd yet. There was what player was it? I want to say it was Michael Carter Williams. First game he dropped in, he went crazy and went off, and then didn't do much else with that season and his career. We have Manny Wilkins getting the start once again for St. Louis. Kellen Mond getting the start once again for San Antonio. As this should be an interesting one. The Brahmas looking to bounce back. St. Louis looking to protect the dome. And San Antonio takes the field. Okay, that's a Wade Phillips on the sideline this week. He was in the booth last week. This week he's back on the sideline. We'll see how that impacts things. Yeah, I wish that was the thing as well, but I also get why it isn't. Because contracts and how all that works in baseball is a lot different than in other sports. So I do wish that was the case as well, but it's whatever. All right. As the St. Louis Battlehawks take the field for the first time this season in the Dome at America Center of St. Louis, Missouri. And yeah, again, it's a pretty loud crowd tonight. No one was gonna doubt the crowd showing up for St. Louis. They typically have a very consistent 20 plus K there. Like St. Louis knows how to show out for the Battlehawks. And yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. That shot looks a lot better than the previous one they showed. All right, heading to a commercial break as we wait for kickoff. Yeah, we're at commercial break as we were waiting for kickoff. Why is Grimace there? I just saw that Grimace is at the game tonight. Of course, it is. All right, we'll see. How you doing, Bot Flash? Yep, call is the law. So waiting kickoff still. I'm double checking and constantly making sure that they're not switching this game back over from FS2 to FS1, where it should be. As yeah, it's currently saying it's gonna be on FS2 because of the NASCAR race that just ended. So who knows? We're at commercial break, waiting for kickoff. It's gonna be in about 2 minutes, I believe. Good hell yeah. I'm assuming it's a busy. I'm assuming it's a good kind of busy. Am I seeing a kickball championship on ESPN News? Yeah, you're good. Get that bag, man. Get that bag. Oh yeah, I'm going St. Louis. I'm going St. Louis. I am so far 3-0 on the week for predictions, and yeah, I'm going St. Louis in this one. I would kind of prefer San Diego over Sacramento. If we ever have to pick between those two, but if you put San Diego or Oakland as the options, I might lead Oakland. But I mean, either way, you can't go wrong with either of those, I think. It would be nice to have a team back in Orlando, but I kind of doubt it. At least for this first expansion next year, I doubt it. Okay, Wade Phillips was in the booth last week for San Antonio. Now on the sideline this week. We'll see how much of a difference that makes for this defense. I imagine after kick, when we get to the first commercial break during the game, it's when this will switch back over to FS1, I would imagine. Oh yeah, the UFL does a good job of they do an okay job of scheduling games. You make it so everyone can watch it. Yeah, so the Brahmas will be getting the ball first in this one. St. Louis has had to send this one down. The Battlehawks were undefeated at home last season during the regular season. They were undefeated. Oh yeah, the national television stuff as well is nice. Okay, Battlehawks were 5-0 last year at home during the regular season. Obviously, they lose that playoff game to San Antonio at the Dome. But now they're back for the home opener, and yeah, that home sideline is packed. Some empty spots on the San Antonio sideline, but it should be interesting nonetheless. As Anthony McFarland back to return. Yeah, there's some splotches there. It's still probably the biggest crowd of the season so far, but definitely not what it was last year. As Rodrigo Blankenship had to send this one down. And there's the kickoff underway, going to be returned, beginning from inside the 5 at the 2. As Anthony McFarland returned this. He spends a 25-30 and down to about the 33. San Antonio will begin from there. And now comes Kellen Mond and the San Antonio offense. Left a lot to be desired last week against Arlington. Looking to bounce back this week. If they can get the ground game going, that'll help out a lot. If they can get a more consistent passing game, that'll help out a bit. But you gotta be able to get the ground game going for this San Antonio team. So we'll see if they're able to do it today against a really good defense. So Mond in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the left as well. Ball from their own 32. Going to begin this drive with a handoff to Jayshon Corbin up the middle. And that's going to get a gain of about 3 up to the 35. All right. So 2nd and 7 now. Again, one of the key inactives for San Antonio is not having John Lovett, who ran really well in the XFL Conference Championship game. As Mon looks to throw on 2nd down, going to be incomplete. Pass right side, a contested throw towards Jontre Kirkland, and nearly picked off. Going to fall incomplete, luckily, as Chris Payton Jones in coverage. And it's now 3rd and 7. Yeah, there's a lot of hand fighting in there. I like Santa Fe Stingers in concept. I just don't think like Santa Fe is really a great location for a team. As Mond alone in shotgun, looking to throw on 3rd and 7. Has time, pass left side, caught for a first down and more. As Jacob Harris down to the plus 44-yard line. And San Antonio was entered plus territory. Now in FS1, nice. All right, so Mond in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. As Mond going to look to throw once again. Pass right side is off the mark and incomplete. Low and outside, looking for Jontre Kirkland. And couldn't connect there. All right, so Kellen Mond in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. 2nd and 10 from their own 44. Mond to throw once again. Pass in the flat right side, caught by Corbin. Going to be forced out of bounds, but not before getting to the 40-ish yard line. A 3rd and manageable coming up. All right, so far a decent drive. It's 3rd and 7. Been a pretty okay drive here from San Antonio so far. The question is just, can they finish and capitalize? The stadium's getting loud. Mond alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mond to throw. Pressure coming and sacked. Back at midfield. No time on that one. Travis Feeney gets in. And that's going to push San Antonio out of field goal range as well. A good spin move by Feeney. And Mond didn't react in time to break the pocket. I'll say if it's not Feeney, he'd number 7, Taume Penu. Butchering that name again. I probably should have looked at it before. Anyway, Brad Ring on to send this one down. Punt comes off clean. And it's going to bounce at the 10 and be down at the 12. Yeah, there was a few other Battlehawks in that area who have gotten that sack. As we head to commercial break, as we wait for Manny Wilkins and this Battlehawks offense to take the field for the first time today. A great showing last week is 11:21 to play in the first. But again, a nice start for San Antonio, but just stalled out at the end there. the St. Louis defense played well also, so gonna be interesting to see how that plays out for the rest of this. Still early, one drive in the books. We'll see what St. Louis can do on offense. Once again, we're at commercial break after the opening drive. Again, San Antonio did struggle against the ground last week against Arlington, so I'm expecting Jacob Sailors to have a big game. I'm also expecting Manny Wilkins to be able to do some things on the ground himself, the same way he was able to last week. But really, the main focus is both Jacob Sailors and Jarvion Howard for St. Louis. Especially with Akeem Butler not being at this game and being inactive for this one. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Let's see what the St. Louis offense can do as they're interviewing Travis Feeney on the sideline after that big third down sack. All right, what you got, St. Louis? Again, that's a great play there for Feeney to get the crowd into it early, and this offense build off of it and really, really get this crowd into it. Wilkins in shotgun, back to his left, three receivers to the right. In motion, one of them towards the left side. As Wilkins gonna look to throw. Now pass left side in the flat. That's gonna be caught, but stumbling and tripping is Blake Jackson on the reception, and a loss of about 3 or 4. That play had potential, but just couldn't keep his feet under him. Now 2nd and 12. Wilkinson shotgun back to his left, two receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off to Sailors left side and has some room. Past the 15, past the 20, and down to the 21. An 11-yard carry for Jacob Sailors, and it's 3rd and 1. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. All right, so Wilkins in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. It's 3rd and 1. Wilkins, handoff for Sailors, and he's going to get close. And they might mark him short. 4th and inches. And a 3 and out. Darius Phillips, a big first down, potentially touchdown save and tackle. Yeah, that's a very clutch tackle there by Darius Phillips. From your own 21.5-yard line, what does Anthony Beck decide to do? He sends out the punting unit. So a 3 and out for St. Louis to begin this game. And the first punt of the season comes off clean. And it's a nice deep punt. Going to be returned beginning from their own 22. And as Marquez Stevenson getting out to about the 33. And there's a penalty down as well. What's the penalty? It's holding on San Antonio. So 10 yards from the end of the return. So San Antonio will begin from their own 23-ish when we get back from commercial break, as Kellen Mond takes the field for the second time today. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. We have commercial break here. I mean, it's still very early in this game, but we've seen a lot of poor offensive play this week. Hopefully, this does not turn into something similar where it's like 3-3 at the half. Hopefully, we see a bit more of an offensive game here, but so far through 2 drives, defenses are on top. As we're still at commercial break. Oh, that was, man, I am both shocked that Houston was able to pull that off. Well, also that was kind of expected and not at all surprising. Listen, I like Duke. I like the team that they had. But I mean, it's still at the end of the day, it's Duke. So it's like, whatever. All right, back from commercial break. Mond in shotgun back to his right. We receive an option to the right as well. I don't swear by flag. I'm just saying that I say he's the 1 overall pick because that's what everyone else says. Handoff to McFarland up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of about 4. And also, like, college basketball is not at all similar to NBA. And so 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard carry from Anthony McFarland. Mond and shotgun back to his right. He receives to the right as well. Pressure coming off that right side. Quick throw for his screen is going to gain about 2. That's Greg Ward on the reception. Nice corner blitz sent. And it's a 3rd and 5. Or 3rd and 4. Oh yeah, the dome is getting loud. I love it. I love it. Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Mond with some time. Pass left side is incomplete. Off target. And it's a 3 and out. I believe that was towards Jacob Harris. Yeah, that was in the vicinity of Jacob Harris. But it was too far outside. So Brad Wing on the punt this one down once again. Just under 7.5 to play in this one as the punt comes off clean and going to be returned beginning from about the 14 and keeps his feet in bounds along the sideline. John Corey Pearson down to about the 28. A solid return there. And we're headed to a commercial break once again. Man, I hate Fox. But yeah, the Dome could definitely hold up to 40K plus. I think it's closer to 20. I think it is around that 20K range. Today, not as much as I was expecting, but still, again, the best we've seen so far in the UFL. So you're taken. Also, I want to point out ESPN. For as much as ESPN does not do a great job with the UFL broadcast, they do a lot better than they do some things a lot better than Fox does. One of them being how they handle the commercials. Whereas the ESPN would go like 3 drives without a commercial break at times. Or at least he'll go 2 drives. Meanwhile, Fox is like anytime they get a chance to, it feels like they like to go to commercial. Same shit every year. It's rough. Anyway, again, St. Louis will be getting involved for the second time today when we get back from this commercial break. As we're dealing with a Little Caesars commercial right now. Hell yeah. And it's like, Fox also doesn't take as much of an advantage of having the sideline reporters as ESPN does. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. We're at a commercial break. We've had 3 straight punts in this one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, I wouldn't say better ran. Last year's was impressive, and like attendance wise and play wise and everything. It's very tough to beat 2020 XFL. That was like a legit entertaining league. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. I think it started with a weird it started with some like weird scheduling and some weird competition. So we'll see. So Wilkins in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left, first and 10 from the 29. First play on the drive is going to be a double reverse right side now. Room to run, first down and more. Down inside, down past the 40 to the 42. That's Gary Jennings on the carry. A double reverse, handoff to Sailors, reverse into Jennings, and a good bit of running room there. Nice little trickery to begin this drive. Yeah, there's still plenty to improve. And if they expand to the correct locations next year, they're gonna be just fine. But they need to hit it home on the expansion. Wilkins under center, going to hand this off up the middle for Sailors, and that's a gain of about 5 up to the 48. I also feel like when it comes to marketing and promoting the league this year, it has not been the same as last year. It's not been as good. And that's also like playing a big factor in this. And how like and the looks of the league. Officially ruling it a gain of 6. Wilkins under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right side. And he's going to play action, look to throw. Wilkins, plenty of time. Pass wide open over the middle. First down and more to the plus 35-yard line. That's Jake Sutherland on the reception. Good motion, good trickery, and Jake Sutherland wide open over the middle. And again, the offensive line of St. Louis, man. Hey, Sutherland made some plays last week as well. Oh, is there a penalty on this play? They're calling a holding on St. Louis. Calling it on the left tackle. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's hand fighting, but okay. Wilkinson throwing 2nd and 14 now after the holding call. Gonna roll to his right and buy some time. Room to run. And he's going to get about the 14 needed for the first down. To midfield is Manny Wilkins for a first down run. And that's exactly what St. Louis needs to be able to do. If Wilkins can use his legs like this effectively, they're a tough team to beat. Oh, now they're saying 3rd and 2. They had the first down marker wrong on the broadcast. So 3rd and 2 from midfield. Wilkins and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Need to get the snap off, and they do. San Antonio sends pressure. Pass right side. Wide open. Jacob Sailors. Room to run inside the 30 and down to the 27. Quick dump off to Jacob Sailors, and he had plenty of room in front of him. San Antonio sends a blitz there, and Sailors was unaccounted for during that blitz. Manny Wilkins, man, he's playing really well. Wilkins under center, back behind him, going to play action, look to throw, rolling out to his left. Has some time, not going to keep it himself once again, left side, and going to get to about the 21, maybe the 20, but a good pickup on first down. I think they did that last year, or no, I don't think they were able to because of them forced to have the Army patch. So they might this year. But yeah, they were forced to have a Army patch last year because they had a partnership with the Army, but that didn't really work out. So they didn't renew it. Oh yeah, Duggan is in a great spot to learn right now. 2nd and 4, Wilkins gonna quick throw left side, caught by Pearson, trying to get a screen going, but nothing works there. A loss of a yard. So it's 3rd and 5 coming up. It's not only that Duggan gets to learn from Manny Wilkins, it's also that he gets to learn from Anthony Beck and this offensive staff that St. Louis has that has coached some great offensive teams throughout the past few years. It's 3rd and 5. Wilkins and shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball on the 22-yard line. As Wilkins looks to throw. And they're going to call this play dead. As it's false start on St. Louis. So a 3rd and 10 now coming up. Just going backwards now. Oh, yeah. That's obvious movement early for Jawan Burchell Beatty. Yeah, the run game adaptation has also been nice so far. Hasn't really done a whole lot. I haven't had a whole lot because Wilkins uses his legs a bit. And they've only passed the ball once on this drive. Or twice now, officially. But it's been going well. But probably going to need to pass it here. Wilkins and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. A 3rd and 10 from the 27. Making adjustments at the line as it looks like San Antonio's going to try and send some pressure here, but they fall back. Manny Wilkins to throw. San Antonio only sends 3, giving Wilkins plenty of time. Right side wide open and incomplete. Looking for Joncourt Pearson, Darius Phillips. A fantastic effort to knock that incomplete. Looked wide open there for a sec. Oh, man, that's a great play by Phillips. Pearson was wide open, but Wilkins put too much air into that pass. All right, out comes Blankenship to put St. Louis on top early in this one. The 45-yard kick is up and good. With 1:45 to play in the quarter, the Battlehawks are up by 3, and San Antonio's going to get the ball back. And we head to a commercial break. That's an unfortunate miss there. He throws that ball sooner, or even with a little bit more of a zip to it, that gets in, and that's first and goal from inside the 5. It's a real unfortunate miss. We shall see. We shall see as we're at a commercial break. Bro, the Panthers are just waiting for the playoffs at this point. They're struggling against Detroit right now. As we're still at commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break, they're highlighting the impact that the Dome had last year for St. Louis. A 5-0 in the regular season, 2-3 on the road last year for St. Louis. Now looking to continue that fantastic home field advantage today. I just realized San Antonio hasn't had their home opener either yet. When did they have it? They have to wait till week 5? All right, kickoff underway. This is going to be returned beginning from the goal line by Anthony McFarland. And going to get up past the 25, the 30, down to the 31. Damn, the Brahmas don't play at home until week 5. Jeez. All right, Kellen Mond taking the field once again, looking to get something going on this drive. The opening drive of the game was pretty solid for San Antonio. That last one couldn't do a whole lot to it. We'll see Mond and shotgun back to his right, 3 receivers to the left. First and 10, 1:40 to play in the quarter. Mond to throw. Quick pass right side, that's going to be caught. And a gain of about 3.5, 4-ish. I believe that was Jontre Kirkland on the reception. And it's going to be a 2nd and 6. Mond and shotgun back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle. And that's going to be Jashawn Corbin to gain about 4 to make it a more manageable 3rd down. So 3rd and 2, Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Pass left side. It's tipped at the line and incomplete. Quinterio Cole batting down one away at the line off the blitz. And he had an interception last week. Makes a play here to force a 3 and out. And St. Louis will be getting the ball right back. And San Antonio is going to need to punt this away before the end of the quarter. Yeah, free rusher in Quinterio Cole. That's a great defensive play. So Brad Wing now to send this one down. And they do not get that snap off in time. Yeah, it's going to be delay of game on San Antonio. And that might just bring us to the end of that quarter. There's 2 seconds on the clock, but I think it starts ticking soon. Yep, there we go. And that's the end of the first quarter. After 15, the Battlehawks lead by 3 as they look to get revenge in this XFL Conference Championship rematch. We will head to commercial break, and I will quickly be right back. All right, back. I am back. We're still at a commercial break as we wait for the start of the second quarter. We shall see. We shall see. All right, just coming back from commercial break. The start of the second quarter underway here. What can you do on this drive? First drive of the second quarter. As we actually have to see San Antonio punt this one away real quick. So 4th and 7, Brad Wing on to send this one down. The punt comes off clean. And that's a deep punt. Going to be returned beginning from the 4. And that's Jacor Pearson going right side past the 20. And eventually brought down near the 25. All right, so now we get to see Manny Wilkins once again today. If another scoring drive here, if they can get some consistency into this offense now. The first 2 drives weren't the greatest for St. Louis. The first drive wasn't the greatest for St. Louis. But the second drive led to some points. So we'll see what this one can do. Wilkins in shotgun back to his right. A tight end motion into the backfield to his left. As Wilkins going to keep it himself right side on the read option and room to run. First down and more past the 40 and out of bounds near the 43. St. Louis wants a flag for a late hit there, but none thrown. Yeah, Manny Wilkins being able to utilize his legs is big for this St. Louis offense. All right, so first and 10 after the run by Manny Wilkins. Now under center, back behind him, going to play action and look to throw. Plenty of time, pass left side, caught by Jarvion Howard. Going to make one man miss and going to lower his shoulder and pick up 11 for a first down. But there is a penalty down as well. What's the penalty? It's roughing the passer on San Antonio. Tack on 15 to the end of the play. Yeah, he's well late. Lonnie Phelps hits him well late. It's a clean hit if it wasn't late. That's the thing. The issue is he hit him late. The ball now on the plus 31-yard line. Wilkins in shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna shift it back to his right as they motion Pearson into the backfield. Wilkins handoff for Howard up the middle. And is going to fight his way for a gain of about 5, maybe 6. All right, so Wilkins, on 2nd and 4 in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. 13 minutes to play in the half. Wilkins going to hand this off to Howard once again up the middle and going to go nowhere. Maybe loses half a yard, maybe gains half a yard. Nonetheless, not much going on that one. It's 3rd and 4 nonetheless. All right, so 3rd and 4. 12 and a half to play in this first half. Battlehawks up by 3. Wilkins in shotgun, a back to each side. As Wilkins looks to throw. Pass over the middle, that's caught for the first down. A gain of 5. Denzel Mims on the reception. Former New York Jet. And he keeps the chains moving. Yeah, that's... Honestly, he could have thrown a little bit more outside to make it a even safer of a throw, but he places it on the money nonetheless. So Wilkins in shotgun back to his right, ball in the 20. going to keep it himself right side, trying to beat defenders to the edge, and he'll get out of bounds at about the 20. So no gain on that one. 11:39 to play in this first half. St. Louis in firm control now. Can they finish this drive in the end zone? All right, so 2nd and 10. Play clock winding down. 5 seconds left. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. Now going to shift it back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side to get the snap off in time. Handoff Sailors, right side. The 15 to 10. The 5 breaking tackles and in. Jacob Sailors had a fantastic showing last week. He continues it this week. The Battlehawks are up by 9. 20-yard touchdown run for Jacob Sailors. With 11:04 to play in the half. Oh, beautiful blocking up front. And Jacob Sailors, man. Gonna need a lot better tackling than that if you're gonna try and bring him down. Just beautiful. And now the 2-point try from the 5. Wilkinson shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side to make this an 11-point game. Gonna do a short motion here with Denzel Mims on the left side. As Wilkins going to toss this to Sailor's left side. He's gonna fight his way. Trying to push that pile, and he gets in. Jacob Sailors, man, running angry and running well tonight. It's an 11-point lead for the Battlehawks. All right, we can head to a commercial break after that. A great touchdown drive for St. Louis extends their lead, and the point after now sits at 11-0. Yep, commercial break once again. We're heading to another commercial break. That was a great drive for St. Louis. A drive that didn't necessarily need, but a result that they definitely needed at some point today. And they get it out of the way early. This has been a really slow week for offenses across the UFL, so the fact that St. Louis was able to score early in this and take that 2-possession lead is massive. We shall see what San Antonio is able to do on their next drive, though. All right, just coming back from commercial break. And a great running from Jacob Sailors puts the Battlehawks up by 11. as they're about to send this one down. Back-to-back weeks with a touchdown run for Sailors as well. Yeah, this Battlehawks offensive line, man, it has been top tier. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from about the 6, maybe 7. As Anthony McFarland getting up past the 30 and down to about the 33-ish. All right, they're interviewing Mark Colombo on the sideline now, the offensive line coach for St. Louis. I love Mark Colombo's energy there. As Mond in shotgun going to hand this off to Jay Sean Corbin up the middle. That's a gain for about 2. Now 2nd and 8. Mond and shotgun back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. As Mond going to play action, look to throw, rolling to his right, buying some time. Made one man miss, now going to keep it himself. And out of bounds near the 40-ish yard line. Going to be a 3rd down. Now 3rd and 3. 10 minutes to play in the half. Play clock winding down. Mond and shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side to get the snap off. Mond to throw. Pass right side. Caught one-handed for the 1st down. And a little bit more. Past the 45 to the 47. Keeps the drive alive. Racy McMath on the reception. Great grab there to keep the chains moving. As Kellen Mond was a second away from getting drilled there. Mond and shotgun looking to throw once again with time. Pass left side. It's going to be tipped in the air and incomplete. Going back to McMath, and this time he couldn't hang on. Through the arms and luckily falls to the ground. All right. Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on their own 48-yard line is Mond going to look to throw. Pressure coming past left side. Caught by McFarland, but brought down behind the line for a loss of 3. Lucas Dennis on the tackle for loss as St. Louis timed up a beautiful blitz up the middle to force that pass. A beautifully timed blitz there. I believe that's Olakunle Baktuse? Probably mispronounced that. I apologize. Trying my best. 3rd and 12. Mond the shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. As Mond looks to throw once again. Pass over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Nearly picked off by Chris Payton Jones. As Mond tried to fit one into John Trey Kirkland. And it's going to be a 4th and 12, and San Antonio will punt this one down to St. Louis. All right, so Brad Wing on to send this one down with 7:45 to play in the half. St. Louis in firm control of this one as the punt comes off clean. And there's a great punt going to be returned beginning from the 9. Joshua Pearson down the right side, going to get past the 20 to about the 22. And that's where we'll start things off. Oh yeah, so Jacob Sailors is a beast, man. He's playing fantastic this season. And so, but to be fair, so is this entire St. Louis offensive line as we head into a commercial break. Like the St. Louis ground game as a whole, from every facet of it, is working fantastically. As we have 7:32 to play in the half. Like I would, if Sailors can keep this up the entire season with his play on the ground, I would not be surprised if we see him on the training camp roster and in the preseason. Would not be surprised at all. Like he's playing really well. Gonna be a commercial break here. Oh yeah, the Birmingham. To be fair though, the Birmingham offensive line did not play well against DC in week 1. They did drastically improve in week 2, so I will give them credit for that. But yeah, they do have a top tier offensive line for sure. And then obviously again, like St. Louis playing fantastically offensively as well on the offensive line. They have pieces that I could see making a jump to the NFL next year as well from that offensive line. Not sure exactly who at the moment, but there's definitely pieces here that are gonna find, they're at least gonna be in contact with the NFL. I mean, hell, DC's D line didn't play the greatest yesterday against Memphis. It is still one of the better defensive lines. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like part of the reason that Birmingham's offensive line didn't play well in week 1 was more so in Alex Magoo than anything. And yeah, back from commercial break, they're showcasing the NFL talent on the St. Louis coaching staff. And we're talking about guys that Max Duggan gets to learn from during this season. None greater than Sanika Wallace, who had a solid NFL career being the quarterback for Seattle for a few years. I am very curious, going back to the Birmingham thing. There is 100% some kind of a QB competition going on there now, because Matt Corral played too well for that not to be the case. All right, Wilkins shotgun back to his left, going to play action, look to throw. Wilkins with plenty of time, launching one deep, left side has a man, and that's caught inside the 30, 25, and down inside the 20 to about the 17. Gary Jennings, what a throw from Manny Wilkins, on the money, past the outstretched arm of a San Antonio corner. Placed absolutely beautifully. Oh my. Just barely past the outstretched arms of, I kid you not, this is that defender's name, Bo Pete Keys. And that was 1st and 10 from the 20. Wilkins in shotgun back to his left, going to hand this off up the middle for Sailors. And that's a gain of about 3. Yeah, Akeem Butler, again, I didn't think him being out was going to be that massive of a deal because of the ground game that y'all possess. But that was an impressive throw from Manny Wilkins. Like, that's a big league throw. Like, that was beautiful. Not the prettiest of spirals, but it got there. So Wilkins and shotgun back to his right, going to toss this right side for Sailors and going to Lose about 2 on the play. A 30 and 9 coming up. And that was beautiful. Just under 6 minutes to play in the half now. And bro, like the offensive line as well. Wilkins had time to let that play develop and to really step into that throw because of how well this offensive line is playing. Now 3rd and 8, Wilkins alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball on the 18-yard line. Wilkins going to look to throw. San Antonio sends 4. Pressure comes. Wilkins escapes it to the left. Going to keep it himself as he stiff arms and gets to about the 15. Oh, and there's some pushing and shoving post play. There is a penalty down. We'll see who this is on. Wilkins was standing over top of the defender. As soon as he, upon getting up, punched the ball out of Wilkins' hand and shoved him. Corey Mayfield was a defender there. So they're talking about this, saying that, hey, we know we got Corey Mayfield on this, and there is a penalty for personal foul on Mayfield. So the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. So calling Mayfield there for the shove-in after the play. One of the refs was saying, hey, what about Wilkins standing over top of him and all that, kind of like a taunting thing. And every other ref pretty much shut him down, saying, nah, it's fine. So now it's 1st and goal for St. Louis from the 2. Yeah, the retaliation was definitely enough. The thing was, Wilkins, that's where it gets very, very, very subjective. And the ref said nothing on Wilkins, but definitely something on Corey Mayfield. As Wilkins under center, going to hand this off to Sailor's right side. And that's going to be a loss of a bunch, down to the 9 with a penalty flag down. It is going to be holding against St. Louis that will be declined, so it is 2nd and goal from the 9. All right, so 2nd and goal. Ball on the 9, the plus 9-yard line. Wilkins in shotgun back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. 9 yards out. Receiver sent a tight end sent in motion right to left. There's 2 receivers to each side. As Wilkins is going to keep it himself left side on the read option. Trying to make some moves towards the sideline. Can get inside the 5 and down to about the 2. Maybe the 1-yard line. Gets the yardage back from the first down play. It makes it a much more manageable 3rd and goal. So what's the decision here? So there's 4 minutes to play in the half. It's a 3rd and goal from the 2. Wilkins in shotgun, and there is now a stoppage before the snap. As San Antonio will call their first timeout. I mean, Tyreek right now is going on a massive just troll job on social media. So I'm not listening to anything he is saying specifically. If we hear something from like Schefter, Rappaport, Pelissero that, hey, there's talks in place of something, then I will like put weight into it. But for now, I'm not holding anything down to it. So San Antonio called a timeout, And now they're going to challenge something. The challenger that should have been offensive holding against St. Louis there. All right, so they call a timeout and then threw the challenge flag. So they might just waste 2 timeouts here. And they're saying Holden against number 2, Frank Darby, is what they're challenging for. So we'll see. Oh. Yeah. They're going to get that. They might win this. They're probably going to win this challenge. All right, Blandino. Oh, Blandino saying they're going to lose this challenge. Yeah, so they lose the challenge, saying that the block was legal there, and they're going to lose another timeout. So down, I believe they're down to 1 remaining. Oh yeah, I still hate that the Athletics are moving out of Oakland. So 3rd and goal from the 2. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle and goes nowhere with it. A loss of a yard for Jacob Sailors, but there's another penalty flag down. Are you going to say offsides? Yep, San Antonio called for offsides. It will be 3rd and goal from the 1. Third and goal from the 1. To really try and extend this lead. It might be in 4-down territory for St. Louis. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. A tight motion in the backfield to his left as they hand this off to Sailors up the middle. Stretching forward. Ball comes loose. And it's going to be San Antonio football unless this ball crossed the plane. Lonnie Phelps has it. Unless this crossed the plane, this is San Antonio ball. Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by San Antonio. Jacob Sailors, that's a bad mistake. There's not really a need to stretch that ball. Does that ball cross the plane? It's close. That is close. Did the ball cross the plane? After review, it's a touchdown for St. Louis. Jacob Sailors, his 2nd on the night. Stretching the ball across. And it's a 17-point lead for St. Louis in this one. 3:20 to play in the half. And Blandino Gonna be talking about the challenge that happened a few plays back. But yeah, Jacob Sailors definitely crossed the plane there. Now a 2-point try from the 5. Wilkins and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right as Wilkins play action looking to throw. Pass left side and incomplete. Looking for Gary Jennings there, but good contact forces the ball loose. It remains a 17-point St. Louis lead. A fantastic series there once again for St. Louis. With 3:20 to play, it is a 17-point lead. Yeah, that was the correct call there. That was definitely a good call to overturn that and have it be a touchdown. Okay, I'm curious as well. Blandino hinted at it there that they might talk about that over that Holden call that the challenge said no, there wasn't one. I'm curious about that though. Because to me that kind of looked like Holden. And I'm an offensive guy. I prefer less offensive holding calls. But to me that looked like Holden. So yeah, the officials being hands-on is great. And just a transparency as well. Blandino talked about during that challenge of like he was able to keep his feet moving. The defender wasn't completely turned. There was some jersey pull action there, but not enough. I think that was just a case of his subjective, and for a subjective call, the UFL is going to lead more in favor on what was called on the field. And yeah, hearing the play calls as well was great. I think ESPN does such a better job in that transparency aspect with the way they utilize the sideline interviews. But at the same time, like they do, I wish there was a way to just merge the ESPN and the Fox broadcast to get like the perfect broadcast. Because like if you take what ESPN does in terms of the sideline, having 2 sideline reporters, one for each team, and really honing into the sideline interview aspects and interviews with the coaches, and you get their sideline reporters and the way they use them with Fox's 2 main broadcasters of Joel Klatt and I forget the other one's name right now. I'm sorry. We combine them with ESPN's commercial system, and you have the main broadcast like top 2 of Fox's. It would be such a good broadcast. As we're heading back to commercial break. Or we're getting back from commercial break, my man. So St. Louis, man, all 3 timeouts still can get the ball back and up by 17. Plus St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half. As Blankenship ready to send this one down. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 5. As Anthony McFarland working his way to the 25 before trying to bounce it outside and be brought down inside the 25 to the 23. All right, interviewing Jacob Sailors on the sideline right now, talking about those touchdown runs. As Mond in shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 3:15 to play in the half. Mond looking to throw. Pass over the middle is caught by a wide open Anthony McFarland with room to run, first down and more. Before finally being out of bounds, but not before gaining about 15, 16 there. So yeah, some of the in MLB, some of the home run calls are hilarious. Yeah, so saying a gain of 18 on that previous one. The ball now on the 42-yard line. as there is a stoppage. Oh, St. Louis is going to challenge this. Does he want an offensive pass interference here? St. Louis is challenging this. Yes, challenging it for offensive pass interference. Beck was saying that Marquez Stevenson was already blocking before the ball was caught. All right, let's see. Yeah, ball's caught past the line of scrimmage. Stevenson is blocking before the ball is caught. This might be brought back. And yeah, St. Louis is going to win the challenge here. Offensive pass interference can be called to Marquez Stevenson. A good challenge from Anthony Beck. Yeah, so offensive pass interference on Marquez Stevenson, 10-yard penalty and a replay of first down. Now a 1st and 20 coming up. That's a great challenge from Anthony Beck. And yeah, he blocks too soon. All right, so Mond and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Ball now on the 14-yard line. Going to hand this off to McFarland left side. And that's a gain of about 4-ish up to the 18. Just under 2.5 to play. They don't need to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. So Mond and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. They don't need to run one more play. If they choose to, they're going to, though. Mond to throw. Pressure coming. And going to escape some pressure before being brought down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Somehow, Kellen Mond avoids 3 different Battlehawks and gets a no gain as we head to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the first half. It has been all Battlehawks so far in this one. They lead by 17 with 1:56 to play. All right, commercial break. All right, all right. Again, this has been all Battlehawks. Kind of expected it, but not in the way that it has been, per se. We shall see. Zipper select commercial break. Zipper select commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Oh, also, Flash. Not sure if he's still here or not. Did you see what the Pirates did recently with their right field advertisements and shit? As Mond in shotgun on 3rd and 16, back to his right, two receivers to the left. Looking to throw past left side, has a man wide open for a first down. Gain of 18 for Jacob Harrison to keep the drive alive. A big play for Kellen Mond, a great throw as well. They took down the Roberto Clemente black thing that was there and replaced it with an alcohol ad. Mond to throw it right side, caught by Kirkland, breaks one tackle and going to get to. He's gonna get out of bounds after a gain of 9.5 ish. 138 to play. It's like that's just like only the Pirates can do shit like that. All right, Mond and shotgun back to his right. Two receiving options to each side. It's a third and basically two. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Corbin. That's the first down and more. Past the 45, pile being pushed past the 40, and finally stood up at the 38. A great carry there for Jashawn Corbin. And just under 130 to play in the half at 128. Mond and shotgun back to his right. Three receiving options to the right as well. And we're going to have a stoppage before this snap as St. Louis calls their first timeout. Yeah, but again, that's just a Pittsburgh Pirate thing to do. Their franchise has been shit for as long as I can remember. They've had like a year or two of outlier success amongst there, but they have just not been a proper franchise, it feels. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. And like there's all the but Paul Skeens as well. Like you have such a legendary player who clearly loves the city, but there's like no indication at all from the front office that they're gonna try and build around him. Yeah, get him out of there. Get Skeens out of there. Do you know a city that would absolutely love his presence? Miami. Not at all. I can't wait to see Paul Skeens either in LA or New York. So that seems to be the only two cities that give a fuck anymore in the MLB. All right, 1st and 10, ball on the 38. Mond and shotgun back to his left, two receiving options to each side. Gonna play action, look to throw. Mond, pressure coming, escapes one sack, but they're gonna be brought down nonetheless at the 45. Austin Faulu gets the second sack of the day for St. Louis. And that's another sack that Kellen Mond just can't take in that moment. Mond and shotgun looking to throw in 2nd and 17. Pressure coming again. Pass left side has a man, but incomplete. Looking for Jacob Harris on a keyhole shot, but just too far down the field. And it's 3rd and 17. Yeah, they're not in field goal range just yet for Donald De La Haye. We'll see. If they get about half, maybe you try them out there. But with St. Louis having two timeouts, you don't want to give them too good a field position, as they're not going to get the snap off in time. 3rd and 17, they going to call a timeout here. Their final, and now with no, they re-gave them the second timeout, and then they just called that second timeout. So now 3rd and 17, they have one timeout remaining. It's 3rd and 17. Which I didn't get the numbers for Arlington today. What was those at? All right, about 9,600 in attendance for Arlington today. Didn't really seem like it, but they sold that many at least. So Mon to throw on 3rd and 17. Pass left side, has the man for the first down and more. Inside the 20 and down to the 15. That's Jacob Harris as he loses a shoe in the process. A great play for Kellen Mond, and San Antonio is in the red zone for the first time today. Mond and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, ball in the 15. 37 seconds left in the half. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of about 2.5 for Jay-Sean Corbett. 27, 26, 25 seconds to play in the half. Go and hurry up once again. They still have 1 timeout. Gotta hurry this up. It's wasting way too much time here. Mond and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. 13 seconds to play now. Mond to throw. Pressure coming. Pass left side end zone and incomplete. A throwaway. 8 seconds to play. They have time for 1 more play. As that pass was intended towards Racy McMath. 8 seconds. You can work the entire field. You have 1 timeout, but if you don't find the end zone, you need to, and you're still in bounds, you need to call it instantly. So 3rd and 8, Mond and shotgun looking to throw. Quick pass, right side end zone, incomplete. Looking for Jontre Kirkland, but Chris Payton Jones in great coverage. It's 4th and 8. And it will head, and we're going to see destroy it on to put San Antonio on the board early in this. To a 31-yard kick from the right hash to put San Antonio on the board. It is up. And there's whistles before the snap. St. Louis will call their 2nd timeout, trying to ice him. There's 4 seconds left. The kick was good, but we had a timeout before the snap. Panthers are still down by 2. Fucking hell. St. Louis does get ball to begin the second half. This could be a much needed points there. All right, so for the 31-yard kick from the right hash for Donald De La Haye, kick is up and it is right down the middle. San Antonio adds 3. St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half as we have entered halftime. All right, entering halftime. I will quickly be right back as we head to a commercial break as well. All right, we have entered halftime in this one. Battlehawks up by 14 as we await the start of the second half. Here we shall see. See if you can drop 72. If not that, do 54 if you can. Again, those NBA. Again, I was playing in between the games today. I was on my road to the show, and again, it's just fun. It's like you want to kill like 30 minutes to an hour, just pop on and we'll be the show. Road to the show, get like 2-3 series in. It's fun. We was like commercial break here. 103. And yeah, we still like commercial break here. Time to get a glimpse inside the locker rooms here for halftime. It's been a great game for St. Louis. Pretty much all St. Louis so far in this one. And yeah, also showcasing now Friday's game between the Stallions and Panthers. Gotta keep an eye on the health of Alex Magoo throughout this next week. Not sure if he'll be able to go next week, or if even if he is healthy enough to go, if they might just ride with Matt Corral as he played fantastically on Friday. And then on Saturday was a great game between Memphis and DC. And then yeah, earlier today, Arlington and Houston. Another solid game there. It came down to the wire. It came down to a 2-point try and a 4th and 12 in that one. We shall see. Again, week two has had a lot of more closer games, but every game has been very defensive heavy. This one has been very solid though, with St. Louis's offense stepping up, but definitely this week has highlighted the defenses. We shall see. Still 30 minutes to play in this one, a whole half to go. Anything can happen. But we shall see. Yeah, they're highlighting week one now in the broadcast for halftime. We shall see. I forgot that Martin Scorsese was making a TV show for Apple TV. All right, second half kickoff should be happening momentarily as we await the start of the second half in this one from the gate. Right, St. Louis is the gateway city. I'm not making that up. I feel like I'm not making that up. I also feel like at the same time I am making that up. Because again, they have the gateway arch. I think they're the gateway city. Is it like the whole gateway to the west thing, manifest destiny, and all that bullshit? I know Indiana is the crossroads city, which sounds dumb as hell, but I know that's what they are because I put it in a video one day a while ago. I'm looking this up. Okay, it's just called Gateway to the West or Mound City. Yeah, okay, that kind of dumb. Oh, okay. Yep, second half kickoff should be happening momentarily. 6 penalties against San Antonio in this one. And only 2 penalties against St. Louis. Yeah, but I mean, besides that, it's been a relatively even game. All right, we're going to commercial break one more time, actually. So we're still at halftime as we wait the second half kickoff. When the fuck was St. Louis referred to as Rome of the West? What? I have never heard that. Why are they called? Why is one of their nicknames Roma of the West? That just sounds dumb because Rome was in the West. What? Oh, yeah, that's a dumb reasoning. Okay, I get it, but it's yeah, no. No, it's not because of the art, it's because of the population, and it's because of the religious population in St. Louis. Which again, makes sense. Still, I know that fucking what is it? Not Tennessee, but like Nashville or some shit is like the Athens of the West, which is even fucking dumber. And it's also why they're called the Titans. Like fuck off, Tennessee. Like just no. Yes, you have the replica of the Parthenon there, but fuck off. Then that somehow I think that might be the worst nickname of all the states. There's some bad ones, but like that legit makes zero sense. And like that being the reason why they're called the Tennessee Titans is just hilarious. Where they're like, yeah, we're not gonna target anything actual about the city, about the state of Tennessee or the city of Nashville. No, we can go after a dumb nickname instead. Like second half kickoff about to be underway from St. Louis. I'm rambling at this point. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from about the 8 and going to break one tackle and get up to about the 30. Manny Wilkins will begin this drive from there as we start the second half with St. Louis up by 14. I forgot that's what Wade Phillips sounds like. I Why did I not realize that Wade Phillips sounds like Kermit? Yes, I would have rather them kept the Oilers because it makes more sense than the Titans. And the Oilers Brandon was top tier. Wilkins under center, going to jet sweep this right side for Joncourt Pearson. Gonna get the edge and a gain of about 8. And I was like, they were called the Tennessee Oilers for 2 years. They could have kept it. There was no reason for them to change it. I mean, a fake toss left and then the jet sweep to Pearson. And it gets 8, maybe 9 for the Battlehawks. Wilkins in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. As Wilkins going to hand this off up the middle to Jarvion Howard, and that's going to be enough for the first down, gain of 5, maybe 6. I plan to make a video that talks about the history of like team names and logos and shit. I'm gonna go in on Tennessee for that. All right, Wilkins in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the left side. Only 6 passing plays today for St. Louis. They've been dominated on the ground as Wilkins going to play action, look to throw. Pressure coming and sacked. Back at the 35. Kobe Jones on the sack and the 2nd and long coming up. Yeah, that's a free rusher basically for Kobe Jones. Great play for the San Antonio defense. Needed something to put a spark in this team. Now 2nd and 17. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Going to hand this off left side for Jarvion Howard. Gets the edge and going to get those 7 yards back and then some. But there is a penalty down. And that's Holden on St. Louis. A 2nd and 27 coming up. Yeah, so 2nd and 27. Wilkins in shotgun, back to his left. Going to pass this quick left side for a screen for Jarcourt Pearson. And going to get up to about the 39-ish yard line. Makes it a more manageable third down, but still a 3rd and long nonetheless. St. Louis did convert 2 3rd and 18s last week against Houston. We'll see what they're able to do here. As it will be a 3rd and 16. Wilkinson shotgun back to his left, 3 receivers to the right side. 12 minutes of play in the quarter. Ball on the 37. As Wilkins going to look to throw. San Antonio sends 3. With time. Pass right side. Wide open. First down and more. Past the 40 to the plus 37. Blake Jackson on the reception. Plenty of time for Wilkins in the pocket. And a strike to a wide open receiver. Plenty down the field. Yeah, I mean, no pressure there. Great offensive line play and a great route concept on that right side to get Jackson wide open. So Wilkins now in shotgun going to hand this off to Sailors up the middle and going to get to close-ish to the 30? It's a gain of 7. It's a ball in the 31. It is 2nd and 4. Wilkins under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right side. As Wilkins is going to hand this off right side for Sailors. Going to cut in and going to gain about 2.5, maybe 3. To make it a 3rd and about 1.5. All right, so 3rd and 2. Wilkins and shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the left side. Going to motion Pearson into the backfield as Wilkins looks to throw. Pass right side for a screen for Sailors is caught and going to fight his way for a gain of 3 and enough for a first down, keeping the drive moving. All right, so Wilkins going to hand this off to Jarvion Howard left side. Going to get maybe half a yard on that one. 9:20 to play in the quarter. As there's a Brahma down as well. Devontae Beckett is the San Antonio player down after that one. And we're heading to a commercial break due to injury timeout. right, so commercial break. The Battlehawks up by 14 and moving on this drive. We'll see if they can. We'll see if they'll be able to cap it off in the end zone, or if they're gonna need to send out Rodrigo Blankenship. All right, so that commercial break. Been an interesting one so far. A pretty dominant showing for St. Louis, but for the most part, San Antonio has been able to hang in there. They're just beating themselves with these penalties. And so it's just coming back from commercial break. All right, 9:12 to play, coming back from the injury timeout commercial break. And that's a pretty nice Battlehawks themed Wolverine helmet there. So 2nd and 10, Wilkins under center, back behind him. Going to end around this for Joshua Pearson, right side. Needs to get to the edge and able to. That's a gain of about 6 for Joshua Pearson in St. Louis. And a 3rd and manageable coming up. Wilkins in shotgun, back to his left. Going to play action, look to throw. Quick pass over the middle, caught. First down and more, down to the 5. Denzel Mims on the grab. As the broadcast is talking about a fan that's currently filming from the first row. Denzel Mims, a great grab and a great throw from Manny Wilkins. Makes it 1st and goal from the 5. All right, so Wilkins in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers. 7:41 to play. It is a 20-point lead for the Battlehawks. Okay. Should be back. The 1-point try from the 2 was no good. It remains a 20-point lead. Remains a 20-point lead in this one. All right, I had to change that for a sec for some reason. Okay, there we go. Anyway, San Antonio by beginning the ball. All right. Should be good, hopefully. As we're at commercial break, after St. Louis just took a 20-point lead thanks to the 3rd touchdown of the night from Jacob Sailors. Again, he's having himself one hell of a game. A fantastic showing in this one as a Battlehawks looking to protect the dome. There's about 7:40 left in this 3rd quarter. So we'll have to see. Still plenty of time left. for San Antonio. They can get a drive here. Right, yes, 7:41 to play in this third quarter. Heading back, just coming back from commercial break. Oh yeah, St. Louis can 100% have back-to-back OP Offensive Player of the Years this year. If Sailors can keep this up, and not only would he be winning Offensive Player of the Year, he will 100% be finding himself on an NFL team come training camp in the preseason. But a great return there, as we'll get another interview with Jacob Sailors here. Middle, and going to bounce it left side after being stuffed. Room to run down play in the quarter. It's 1st and 10. All right. Mond and shotgun looking to throw once. Hell yeah. 68 points is a nice showing. All right. Second and look a respected for. And Mond looking to throw. Pressure coming quick. Pass left side off the mark. Incomplete. The pressure from the St. Louis front seven forces the errant throw. There was like 2 or 3 Battlehawks coming in clean there. Mond just got it out as quick as he could to McFarland, who wasn't ready for this. Yeah, there's two free rushers there, and Mond just got rid of it quick towards McFarland, but he wasn't prepared. And they're gonna go for it. 4th and 4 from the 25. Mond and shotgun back to the right. The receivers to the right as well. Looking to throw. Pass right side. Has a man that's caught. First down and more. The 10. The 5 for Kirkland. And down at the half-yard line. John Trey Kirkland. Some great running after the catch there. And it's 1st and goal for San Antonio. A big-time 4th down conversion. All right, so Mond and shotgun back to a 14-point game. Just under 4.5 to play. It is a 14-point game on an incredible drive from the San Antonio offense. They're down but not out now. Down but not out. All right, the 2-point try from the 5. Mond alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Mond looking to throw. Now going to keep himself up the middle. Design QB keeper. And he's not going to get it. Stop short by Callahan O'Reilly. And it remains a 14-point game with 4:28 to play in the quarter as we head to a commercial break. All right. This one can get interesting quick here. We shall see. Still plenty of time left in this one. We're still at commercial break. We're still at commercial break here after San Antonio finally finds the end zone. All right, just now coming back from commercial break here. As yep, week 3 of the UFL begins Friday night as the Arlington Renegades at 2-0 make the trip to Birmingham for the Stallions home opener. And on Saturday, the Houston Roughnecks make the trip to Memphis. I am still not sure if I'm going to be able to go live for that game. Probably a game time decision. I'll keep everyone updated as we get closer to that. As the kickoff is underway, going to be returned past the 30 to about the 34.5, maybe 35 for Blake Jackson. As Manny Wilkins takes the field with 4:22 to play in this one. 23-9 lead for St. Louis. Looking to continue this one. All right. Interviewing John J. Kirkland right now on the sideline here. As Wilkins in shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the 34. Going to touch pass this to Pearson right side. And that's going to get blown up. He gets drilled. A loss of about 3 back to the 31. I like the mindset of getting Pearson the ball there, but did not work at all. Last 3 drives for St. Louis all have been touchdowns. Can they make it 4 straight? It's a 2nd and 12 now with 3:50 to play in the third. Wilkins in shotgun. Back to his right. That's Jarvion Howard. 2 receiving options to each side. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. Handoff. Howard up the middle and going to get past the 35 to about the 36.5-ish. Going to make it a more manageable 3rd down, but still a relatively 3rd and long. In this St. Louis game plan, Wilkins alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, as there's movement up front. So what was a 3rd and 8 is now going to be a 3rd and 13, thanks to the false start with 3:06 to play. So 3rd and 13. Wilkins in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left, ball on the 31-yard line. Wilkins to throw, has time, pass over the middle is short-armed and incomplete. Looking for Jacob Sailors. It's a 3 and out for this St. Louis offense with 2.5. All right, punt comes off clean. This is going to be returned beginning from the 16-ish for Marquez Stevenson and going to get to about the 23. 150 to 151 to play in the third. And we really head into a commercial break. That's like 3 plays, man. Come on. All right, headed to a commercial break as Kellen Mond and the San Antonio offense takes the field. Looking to make this a 2-possession game after this drive. Commercial break. This is gonna be a tight one. If San Antonio can do something on this drive, this could get. St. Louis remains St. Louis. They're gonna carry the UFL attendance until the cows come home. 32,000 for the home opener. Hell yeah. We're still at commercial break here. 151 to play in the third. All right, so at commercial break. All right, just coming back from the commercial break. 151 to play in the third. San Antonio with ball, looking down by 14, looking to make this a one possession game after the results of this drive. Mond in shotgun, back to his right, two receivers to each side. Going to look to throw. Mond with time. Pass left side is that picked off? Looking for Jacob Harris. The saying it's picked off. St. Louis's defense. A big time play when they needed it most. Brandon Sebastian, the juggling interception. And that's a big time play for the St. Louis defense. There was definitely a hand fight in there. Tried going back shoulder to Jacob Harris. Threw his arms bouncing off his chest into the arms of Brandon Sebastian while he's laying on the ground. Oh man, that's unfortunate for San Antonio. That's not at all on Kellen Mond. If Jacob Harris catches that ball, that's probably, that might be 6. I'm not sure anyone else is really back there. Instead, Wilkinson shotgun back to his left, going to keep it himself, rolling left, and going to slide down at about the 31. If Jacob Harris can hang on to that ball, man, that's a game-changing play. Instead, it's a game-changing play in a different way. So 2nd and 6. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. A minute to play in the third. Wilkins going to play action, look to throw. Pass, left side, back shoulder, incomplete. Good coverage there from San Antonio. Looking for Gary Jennings. Chris Steele in coverage is a 3rd and 6 coming up. Yeah, I can see that being DPI. St. Louis does have their challenge still. As it's 3rd and 6. So far, no challenge flag fly. And now there's a stoppage. And there's the challenge from Anthony Beck. He wants the DPI there on Chris Steele. I wouldn't say he's not looking back for the football. He definitely does, as he definitely does make a play on this ball. Now, is there a better camera angle to see if he really does pull him to the ground there? There's definitely a grab with that right hand. And St. Louis going to win another challenge. They're going to call DPI on Chris Steele after St. Louis super challenges it. So they're going to keep their timeout. That was their last challenge of the game. And it will be a 1st and 10 for St. Louis. I like that call. I do like that call. I kind of was okay with it not being DPI either. But I like the call there after the review. Like the decision to super challenge that. And yeah, so 29 seconds left in the half. And Wade Phillips is just done with shit right now. So 29 seconds left. Anthony Beckman, he knows when to challenge shit. Oh yeah, St. Louis is on a mission right now, for sure. As Wilkins going to keep it himself, left side, room to run, to 15, to 10, and out of bounds after a gain of about 9.5, maybe to 10. That was needed. Going to be close. I think the ruling in the first down, though. The use of Manny Wilkins' legs in this game being more of a focus compared to last week is a great sign for St. Louis. Let's see. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. I think he's short of the first. It'll be like second in inches when we get back. But it's the end of the third, head into a commercial break. 15 minutes to play. Battlehawks up by 14 with the ball well into the red zone. So again, for week 3 of the UFL, I know that I'm guaranteed to be doing 3 games. That starts on Friday night for the home opener in Birmingham as the Arlington Renegades make the trip to play the Stallions. I am still not sure fully on if I'll be able to call Roughnecks at Showboats on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Really, the only reason that's why that's still up in the air is because that's a 2:30 kickoff, and I just don't know when I'm gonna get done with my shit I have planned on Saturday. But if not, we'll be right back on Sunday. Where on Sunday we're going to have the Michigan Panthers hosting the San Antonio Brahmas to kick off next Sunday, and the DC Defenders making a trip to St. Louis to round out week 3. That should be a really good game. St. Louis DC should be a great one. I mean, yes, Memphis and Houston's not going to be a good game, so yes, I agree. But still, I would have liked to call it nonetheless. But yeah, I have stuff in the morning on Saturday that I'm not sure when they're gonna get done, when I'm gonna get done with it all. So it's up in the air for the time being. By 2 p.m. on Saturday, we'll know for sure if I'll put a community post. If I'll put a community post on by 2 p.m. on Saturday saying I won't be able to if I'm not. If I am, you'll see the stream go. You'll see the stream scheduled probably by 2 p.m. I would imagine. Because I both planned this thing on Saturday and also kind of got roped into it. Because like I because when I was talking to people that I was planning it with, I was like, yeah, I'm down to do it. I just need to check the times for shit. I need to know what the time schedule is like for this, and then once I know that, I'll let you know, and we'll be good to go. And then like a week later, I get a call saying, "Yo, you're saying, yo, we still don't know the time yet, but you're coming out no matter what." So I'm like, cool, that. Really the oversimplification of the whole situation, but that's basically what happened. So yeah, that's up in the air for that one. But at least it's Houston, Memphis I'm missing, and not any other high key and high market game. As we're just coming back from commercial break, start of the fourth quarter underway momentarily as they're highlighting Anthony Beck right now from previous moments of this game. Oh, why? Why? Why is there a slap competition going on in this? What is going on in St. Louis? That was a hell of a slap. So first and goal from the 7. Wilkinson shotgun back to his right. Gonna toss this right side for Jarvion Howard. And going to lose about 2 on the play. Back to the 9. That shows motivation. That was in the stands. There was a slap competition in the stands. Like that. Wilkinson shotgun. Going to keep it himself. Left side has some room. Inside the 5 and down to the 3. There's a penalty in the backfield, though. We'll see what this is. Going to be holding on St. Louis, pushing them back 10. And just the penalties. Yeah, that's clear holding there. So a second and goal from the 19. So Wilkinson shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Second and goal. As Wilkins to throw. Pass right side, going to be caught by Sailors for a screen that loses a yard. No, I want to say St. Louis is the UFL version of Dallas. I don't think we really have a team that's like that yet. Because for starters, the league's been around for 2 years. And 2, St. Louis backs up their talk most of the time. Like, they back up their talk. They were in the XFL Conference Championship last year. They damn near won it. They've played in multiple really good games. And now third and goal from the 20. Wilkins alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. And a look to throw. San Antonio sends pressure. Pass over the middle. It's caught. And down to the 6 for Jake Sutherland. That is a play that... That is a play right there. That is a play right there that sets up for a go for it if they want. But they're going to send out Rodrigo Blankenship and the field goal unit. So 24-yard kick. Ball is centered to make it a 17-point game. The kick from Blankenship is up. And it is good. It still remains a 2-possession game. Oh, but there's a penalty now. Oh, it's roughing the kicker. It's going to be first down St. Louis. Roughing the kicker. Ball can be placed on the 2-yard line. And first and goal for St. Louis. That's a bad mistake from San Antonio. It's easy about slap train. Oh. I mean, yes, there's contact, but that's more so running into the kicker than roughing. Alright, so first and goal. Wilkinson shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right as they motion 2 tight ends over to that right side. Wilkins going to keep it himself left side, trying to get to the edge. Now hurdling, and going to lose about a yard, maybe 2. Put in Jacob Sailors, get him 4. Jacob Sailors is 1 touchdown away from a UFL record for rushing touchdowns in a game. Get it to him. As we're just under 12 minutes to play. Yeah, but there's no point in hurdling there. So ball now 1 to 4. Wilkins in shotgun, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side, and they barely get the snap off in time. Wilkins rolling to his right after faking a toss, and just going to throw it away incomplete. Wilkins was wrapped around as he threw that ball away. He deserves. All right, so 3rd and goal from the 4. So even if San Antonio makes a stop here, the reason why that penalty was a killer is because St. Louis has just killed about a minute and a half to 2 minutes of clock on this extra 4 downs. So that's the issue. As Wilkins in shotgun back to his left, going to look to throw. With time, pass right side, incomplete. Looking for Jacob Sailors, but great defense by William Hooper. Knocks the ball loose. It's 4th down for St. Louis. Yeah, that's great defense there. So now a 22-yard kick from the left hash for Rodrigo Blankenship to make it a 17-point game. This time with 10 minutes to play. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle. So a 2-possession game, 10:04 to play. The Brahmas are down, but not out. As we head to a commercial break. And Brahmas are still in this, but they're gonna need a close to a miracle at this point. They're down by 17, so they're gonna need 2 touchdowns and 2 3-point conversions. It's a long shot, but there is still a shot. And of course, that is with the idea of taking a 1-point lead and getting the win. They'll also include getting the 4th and 12. They could also go for a tie and do 2 touchdowns, 1 3-point try, and 1 2-point try. So like there's still a possibility. As I think so far through this year and last year, we are yet to have an overtime game in the UFL. So if I remember correctly, UFL overtime rules are similar to college overtime, but they go instantly into the sudden death conversion tries. Because it's basically a shootout, like in hockey, if I remember correctly. But again, it's been close to a year since I even have to think about that. Yes, this is the first conference game for St. Louis this season. So a win will definitely go a long way in that factor. And a loss for San Antonio, that would put them 0-2 in conference play. 0-2 to start the season, and a trip to Michigan next week. Like, bro, San Antonio's schedule is not easy in the slightest whatsoever. Especially to start the season, having to travel. Like, the first 6 games of the season are all on the road for San Antonio, including this one here in St. Louis, at Michigan next week, at DC, and then at Birmingham to end off that 6-week stretch. They do have 4 home games to end the season, but this is not an easy schedule for San Antonio whatsoever. They're going to need to turn it around sooner rather than later, as St. Louis is set to send this one down. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from about the 7. As Anthony McFarland getting up past the 30 to the 34. 9:58 to play. It is a 2-possession game, so San Antonio is far from out of it right now. The previous drive was an unfortunate interception throw from Kellen Mond. As he's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Ball on the 34. Mond going to hand this off to Jashawn Corbin up the middle. That gets about 9 on the play. Good hold there. That's a great way to start a drive. So Mond and shotgun going to hand this off once again up the middle. And that's going to be Jashawn Corbin getting about half a yard when he needed 1.5 yards. It's a 3rd and short coming up. 3rd and 1. Yeah, week 2 attendance-wise did a lot better than week 1. All right, gonna go for a QB sneak here. A little tush push as Kellen Mond gonna take it himself. And it will depend on the spot. They're gonna give him the first down. Yep, first down San Antonio. The tush push works. All right, so Mond and shotgun back to his left, looking to throw on 1st and 10. Pass left side is incomplete. Trying to force one to Jacob Harris when he has someone open over the middle. It's 2nd and 10 coming up now. 8:21, 8:20, 8:19 to play in the game. I do not like that decision by Kellen Mond. I do not like that decision. One, you gotta throw that properly back shoulder towards the sideline. You threw it too far inside. 2, you had Marquez Stevenson coming open over the middle there. Wait, what? Real quick. Mond to throw in 2nd and 10. Gonna roll out to his right to buy some time. Avoids 1 sack. Not gonna keep it himself. Has some room. That's a first down and a gain of about 12 or 13. What do you mean the Ohio River is pretty much flooding right now? The Castellanos hit another home run. What the fuck's going on? Like, jeez. Read up. That Castellanos grand slam right after Ovi broke the goal record. Poetic. Mond is shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Going to hand this off to Anthony McFarland. Bouncing out left side. Room to run. First down and more. Past the 30 down to the 27. 7-15, 7-14, 7-13 to play in this game as the clock continues to run. As Mond going to hand this off once again to McFarland up the middle. Gets inside the 20 to about the 18. Damn. Jeez. Yeah, at least on the Chicago River with it turning green every fucking year. Like that. All right, Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2nd and 2. 6.5 to play in the 4th. 3 receivers to the right. Ball on the 19-yard line. Mond, handoff up the middle for Jashawn Corbin. Goes nowhere. Stuffed at the line. 3rd down coming up. Yeah, send me the clip. All right, 3rd and 2. It's 4 down territory for San Antonio right now. Mond and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Mond to throw. Pressure coming. Pass right side. Caught by Corbin. Makes one man miss. And going to get stuffed at the line for no gain. The screen goes nowhere. With a great play. A great play by Cameron Kelly from the safety position. Crashing down on that one. And it's a 4th and 2. Basically, game on the line at this point. 5:20, 5:19, 5:18 to play. 4th and 2. As the crowd's going wild in St. Louis. Play clock winding down. Mond and shotgun back to his left. They get the snap off in time. Handoff. Corbin, nothing! Stuffed at the line. The Battlehawks defense makes a crucial 4th down stand. And the offense will take the field. I do not like that play call whatsoever from San Antonio. As we head to a commercial break. I do not like that play call at all. Just a handoff up the middle. Come on, I gotta do more than that. There's a dumb. Why are the Cleveland Browns in the Ohio River? In the Ohio River? Jeez, that's insane. It's even a. Jeez. Like, it's one thing for something to be flooded and, like, it be, like, relatively clean water. That water looks terribly infested with shit. Like, that is some nasty-ass river water. Plus, the Browns are floating in it, apparently. Oh, yeah, but yeah, that second one is wild. Jeez. We're still at commercial break. Is it just like, has it just been like rain, like having insane thunderstorms and shit there? That caused it a flood, or is it just like out of nowhere? Or is it just like a yearly cycle thing that the river goes through? Yeah, because I know some rivers do like just naturally flood and shit. Oh yeah, there was a lot of tornadoes in the area over the past week or so. That's right. All right, just coming back from commercial break. About 5 minutes to play in this one. Battlehawks making a crucial 4th down stop. And Max Duggan has taken the field for the Battlehawks. Okay. So they're that confident in being able to get the job done here. Duggan and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle. And that is a gain of about 2 for Kafan Latius. Lad you less? Whatever. Yeah, it's a solid game once again for Manny Wilkins. Now 2nd and 8. Duggan and shotgun. Going to hand this off, and that's a loss of it. No, pushing forward for about half a yard. It's not actually. That's just Latulis. Thank you, Joel Klatt. Finally. Kevon Latulis. For no gain on that play. San Antonio is going to call their first timeout. I'm just like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I know that's not an I, but I can't stop reading it like one. All right, 3rd and 8. Now Gladius from now on. Sure. All right, it's 3rd and 8. Do you have Duggan throw it here? Max Duggan has yet to have a pass attempt in the UFL. It's a 2-possession game with 4:16. You need probably 2-3 first downs on this drive to really seal it, or at least points on this drive. So 3rd and 8. Duggan alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball in the 21. Bobble the snap a bit, but now looking to throw. Duggan pass right side is short-armed and incomplete. Looking for Jacquard Pearson. Pressure up the middle. On top of the bobbled snap. Leads to a 4th and 8 on the errant pass. Oh, but now there's a penalty. There was a penalty. There was some post-play stuff? All right, going to be offset in penalties. And I just picked up the foul, okay. So St. Louis going to send this one down with 4:12 to play in a 2-possession game. Yeah, they're both shoving each other. God damn, Joel Klatt. Joel Klatt saying we got a little bit of a flop there and pulling a LeBron James. San Antonio calls their 2nd timeout. That's good. All right. 4th and 8. St. Louis has to punt this one down. And Manny Wilkins, he's not doing anything flashy through the air, but he's playing effective. And that's the key thing. 5 incompletions last week, 4 tonight, on top of running the ball well with his legs. He's just doing what he needs to do. He's playing safe with it. He's not putting the ball in danger. He knows that if he plays smart, the defense will do their job on the back end. So the 2nd timeout call by San Antonio, as St. Louis is going to send this one down. Punt comes off clean. This will be returned beginning from the 43 and downed instantly right there as well. Nothing on the return. Oh, now there's a penalty down. 5. Are they going to call blindside block? You're going to call blindside block here on San Antonio, I think. Or honestly, might be on St. Louis. We'll see. I believe they call him blindside block on someone. Oh no, they're picking up the flag again. 4:04 to play. First down for San Antonio. And we're heading to a commercial break once. I hate Fox. Stop going through needless commercial breaks. Just wait till the 2-minute warning in this situation, man. Come on. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, actually. They caught me off guard there. As the play was flagged prior to the snap, they ruled the play dead. Oh, never mind. They are going to commercial. God damn it. They blew the play dead before the snap to confirm that we're going through commercial. I hate Fox. Just wait till the 2-minute warning at that point. All right, commercial break. 4 minutes to play. A 2-possession game for San Antonio with the ball relatively close to midfield. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, that's honestly, there was an argument that was the case last week for St. Louis as well. That it's just been great complementary football, but it's when you have great complementary football, you're basically just pure dominating the game anyway. So one in the same. Super Bowl 7. If I can go to any Super Bowl in NFL history, put me front row at Super Bowl 7. No doubt in my mind. I want to see the Dolphins go perfect. I would love to see the Dolphins go perfect in person. Take me back to 1970. What? January of '73. Super Bowl 7 all day, every day. Now, if it can't be one the Dolphins won, probably Super Bowl was at 52 between Philly and New England. Reasonable wasn't a Super Bowl though. Mond alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. And there's a penalty pre-snap going to be against San Antonio. So not a great way. Not a great way to start this drive with a false start. I want to say that was better back then. It's just different. I mean, back then, like, you don't have the same like technological advancements we have now that make life a little bit easier. It's just because through that, it's more shit to worry about. I want to say life was better back then. Mond to throw on 1st and 15. Pass left side is dropped by Jacob Harris. Ran before he fully caught that ball. Yeah, but 75-cent milk don't bother me. I don't buy milk anyway. I mean, like, yeah, prices were cheaper back then, which was great, but they're really worth it. Mon and shotgun back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Pass right side is caught by Kirkland and going to get about 6, maybe 7 there. Well, minimum wage hasn't changed in what, like 30 years, so probably about the same. Mond and shotgun back to his right. Three receivers to the left for 3rd and 9. Looking to throw once again. Pass over the middle. Incomplete. Trying to fit one there to Greg Ward. But great coverage from Nate Medors. And it's 4th and 9. Need to convert this. 3 minutes to play. San Antonio only has 1 timeout. This needs to be a touchdown drive. Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. 4th and 9 from their own 43. And they're going to get movement up front. Who they say moved first, though? Who moved first? They're saying false start San Antonio. They're second of the drive. And those are drive killers. Like, that's just a drive killer. 21 penalties through 2 weeks of play in the UFL this season for San Antonio. Just undisciplined. So 4th and 14, and we're having a clock stoppage before the snap. Yeah, it's just sloppy. Definitely not the same San Antonio team as last year. But like, it still feels like that they have something there. And they just, again, if they can get discipline, they have a solid foundation in place. So they just need to get discipline with shit. Mond and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the 38. Mond to throw on 4th and 14. Pressure coming and sacked. That sacked Kita Tamu Penu on what is most likely the game-sealing sack. Back-to-back weeks with him having a sack. And that's a big-time play in this one. 2 sacks last week, has one this week, and this one just as big as one of the ones he had last week, a game-sealing sack. Man, oh man. Oh wait, the Blazers were eliminated tonight? Damn. Alright, Duggan under center, back behind him. Going to hand this off right side, and that's going to find some kind of a lane there. Gonna get close to the first down marker. Maybe 9.5, maybe the 10. That is Kevon Latulis on the carry. And yeah, St. Louis, man, they're still, like, they're playing incredibly defensively through 2 weeks. All right, 1st and 10, they need to run one more play before the 2-minute warning, as the play clock is 2 seconds ahead of the game clock. Duggan under center, back behind him. And they're going to hand this off once again, and that's going to be a loss of about 4 for Latulis. But that brings us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in this 17-point game, the 2-possession game from St. Louis. A first down ends it, but they're pretty close to ending this nonetheless, as they're in field goal range. And a 3-possession lead is pretty much unsurmountable at this point. No, there's no point in putting Jacob Sailors back in at this point. I wish he got a 4th one, but there's not a point. Yeah, we're at commercial break. 2-minute warning. Latios off my. And the backups are in at this point, man. You can't be too hard on him. As we're still at commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Not as great of an offensive performance this week compared to last week, but they're going against a little bit of a better defense this week, and nonetheless, they still pretty much controlled this game as it's 2nd and 15. Duggan under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right side, 1:59 to play in this game. Duggan going to hand this off up the middle, and that's a gain of about 2.5, maybe 3 for Kevon Latulis. And San Antonio will call their final timeout. This has been another great showing out here from St. Louis. All right, 3rd and 12. Duggan and shotgun back to his left, 2 receivers to each side, 3rd and 12 from the 26. Going to keeping himself up the middle. Max Duggan, that's a first down, St. Louis. A gain of 14, and that will be the game. Max Duggan, a QB keeper on 3rd down to seal the game. Duggan has attempted 1 pass, and it was off of a botched snap with pressure in his face. But he has used his legs well through 2 weeks. As now the knee downs begin. There's the first one. We're going to need 2 more from Duggan. What a showing from St. Louis once again. What a showing. All right, so with 2 more knee downs, right? 2 more? Yeah, 2 more knee downs. That will do it from St. Louis. All right, there's the second. Gonna need 1 more. But yeah, that caps off week 3 of the UFL season. The St. Louis Battlehawks still looking like the best team in the league through 2 weeks. Their 2nd win in their home opener. Next time we'll see them is next week to end week 3 of the UFL season. Yeah, we'll see them to end week 3 of the UFL season as they host DC next week. That should be a fantastic game as there's the final knee down. That will do it. Next time we'll see San Antonio. They'll be looking to bounce back in Detroit as they play Michigan on Sunday. And next time I'll be live is Friday night to kick off week 3 as the Arlington Renegades make the trip to the Birmingham Stallions for the home opener in Birmingham. That should be another great game. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.